Hello everyone! Doc on the clock with more MAGMML3, and it's time for the weapons tutorial. Here's Weapons Archive VO1 with some information. Hello there, I am the manager of the weapon tutorials and the keeper of the weapon wheel and quick item menu knowledge. Weapon tutorials. So yeah, this is to teach us how to do the weapons. Each teleporter will take you to a simulation where you will learn to master each weapon you have brought here. I brought some interesting ones, apparently. The weapon wheel lets us switch weapons to a quick select without using R and L. So here's the weapons wheel, and I can, whoop. I probably should do that with when I'm not on top of someone else right now. The problem is that's also movement, so, oh, I can do it with the right stick, too. Oh, hey, that's the tiptoe from just barely tilting the left stick. The quick item is a new thing to this, so let's see what it's about. For convenience, you can use items or toggle equipment without using the pause menu. Hold the quick item key or button and point to an item using your usual movement controls. The number of tanks you're carrying is indicated by the number of dots around the tank icon. So, I can hold that button and bring up those tanks. That will probably take some time for me to get used to, but that's for another me to worry about. It's time. Let's check out our weapons. Does the work for you? A tutorial on Spark Chaser by Spin Attacks. Here we are. So, hi Terra. My Spark Chaser's rather devious, wouldn't you say? Forget about aiming at targets, it homes in on anything nearby and zaps it multiple times. I've used it on this planet's flying machines and bird-shaped robots, and they can't handle it. Ha! I've still got it after 20,000 years. Alright, so Spark Chaser just kind of flies around like that. And it uses 2 units of energy. So it's not something that can just be easily spammed. However, it is very good at dealing with clusters of enemies, especially lower power ones. Of course, it's not good at taking care of these guys. Part of the problem is that they have kind of they aren't particularly vulnerable to it. Just so you know, you can fire more than one laser to deal with multiple enemies, or even layer damage on a single target. By using multiple shots on 2 enemies in the next group. See how quickly my superior power can devastate your foes. I'm not sure how many can be fired at once. It looks like It looks like 4 at a time. That's definitely a lot. So, now do you see how fearsome the Spark Chaser is? With it, nothing will stand in your way. Unless, of course, someone should use it against you, hunting you down no matter where you go, seeking your end. But why worry about that? It's such a happy, carefree gathering, like this. No need to watch your back. What'd you say at the very end there? It still won't save you. Terra, you're trying to sound intimidating, but you were beating with bootleg guts super arm. I'm not afraid of you. Alright. Next up, A Dent in Their Shields, a tutorial on Laser Trident by CWU101P. Okay, it automatically gives me only that weapon option. Hi, Splash Woman! Now, Laser Trident may not be the most exciting weapon, but it pierces enemies and does more damage to shielded enemies. It's very good against Mets, shield attackers, and especially Joes. That terrible trio can't carry it too. Oh, and one more thing. See those reflect blocks to my right? The Laser Trident can't pierce them at all. Yeah, that would be kind of cheap. But they can kind of stick in. That's neat. Yeah, Laser Trident is... I don't care if it's not an exciting weapon. I love having a basic weapon that I can just regularly spam. Yeah, this has a lot of energy to it. I can't get those bolts! No! Having a weapon that does extra damage to shielded enemies, very, very nice. It'll make those a little bit easier to get through. So yeah, it's spammable, it's readily effective. What's not to like? With Laser Trident, you don't need to destroy enemies to reach targets behind them. A single shot can hit that switch. Proof of concept. Of course, I still have the issue that I am Doc. I have no aim at all. Alright, that's two of the special weapons dealt with. Next up, Damp Ruination, a tutorial on Water Shield by Phazon Motherbrain. Hi there, Pump Man. I just have to get used to pressing the red button. Hey, Mega Man, try using the Water Shield. Sure, it's made out of flimsy bubbles, but you can block shots and douse fires with those things. It takes 4 units of energy, as it did in the original incarnation, and as it does in Mega Maker. So all of that is familiar, and big bolts are worth 10. Oh, Eddie followed me. Alright. Thank you, Eddie. Remember, you can release the water shield to let the bubbles spiral outwards. That way you can hit enemies out of your reach. Also, you can use the shield to stop weaker things from below from hitting you, such as what's behind that lock. Yeah, it's a shield weapon, so it tends to be good against the up and down type enemies. Water Shield. It's a pretty decent... It's actually a pretty decent shield, I think. It's not... I mean, it's no Leaf Shield, it's no Jewel Satellite, but there's been plenty of worse shield weapons. Blow Away the Competition, a tutorial on Tornado Blow by Snowrun Pyro. Tornado Blow is not generally my favorite screen wipe. Yo, you're using my Tornado Blow again? Cool. Just as a refresher, when you use it, you're gonna wipe out all enemies on screen. But they won't drop items except keys, so use it wisely. When you're using it, your jump height will increase for a short time too. As demonstrated by this. The ammo consumption is part of the reason I'm not fond of this weapon. 7 units of energy for one attack is kind of a lot. I mean, most screen wipes, they use 4. And they're all the better for it. The lack of item drops is also something I'm not particularly fond of. As I've mentioned before, I like my goodies. But if I need to get something away from me in a hurry, using Tornado Blow probably isn't a terrible idea. Alright, next tier. Time for a zap. A tutorial on Thunder Beam by Spin Attacks. Thunder Beam, the standout from MAGMML3 1. I am eventually going to stop doing that. The Thunder Beam emits an electric bolt that covers a large area. It can even strike enemies beneath your buster's range. Such as the Gabules. It also only takes 1 unit of energy, so this one is maybe not super spammable because it's not the fastest of weapons, but it is definitely a staple weapon that can be used. You've no doubt noticed that the Thunder Beam's vertical bolts. You can use them to strike enemies above or below you. The Thunder Beam also won't be reflected by enemy shields, but as long as they're up, enemies won't take damage from it. So it pierces but doesn't damage. Interesting. Enemies that can be defeated quickly with them. Very good. Few enemies can resist the Thunder Beam, so use it when you want raw, unfiltered power. You can even tear through octopus batteries and their relatives. Like that guy, apparently. I didn't even know that was related to octopus batteries. I guess it makes sense, though. And also good for flying enemies, of course. Taking more damage than I need to be taking. Alright. Thunder Beam, I expect I'll be using that quite a bit. Light Your Lodestone, a tutorial on Magnetic Shockwave by Mini Macro and Phazon Motherbrain. This is interesting. So look at that. That is Magnetic Shockwave. And here is Onslaught, who is, I believe, Marvel vs. Capcom. My mighty Magnetic Shockwave has a long and high range, striking foes on the ground and in the air. It utterly crushes bulky enemies like those Stomper robots. Those feeble machines cannot resist the power of Onslaught. So this is our Titan Slayer, huh? It's a big, powerful weapon. It's expensive, but, I mean, look at how much you blow through things. You are way too big for this game, dude. Curse those infernal net machines. The Magnetic Shockwave does nothing at all to them. Shielded enemies aren't immune, but greatly resistant. But against so-called mini-bosses, it completely and utterly slaughters them. Go to the next room and witness my might for yourself. So, Mets are completely immune to this massive beast. That's an interesting limitation. But quickly dealing with, ooh. was a little bit controller shaky. And I could get all the health restoration I could ever possibly want. So large groups of small enemies can be pretty easily taken care of with this too. I like it. It's expensive, so I'm not going to be using it as constantly as some other weapons, but I definitely think this one's going to be frequently used. It is interesting that they brought in a weapon that's not from an actual Mega Man game. Stay Frosty, a tutorial on Ice Wall by CWU101P and Gone Sovereign. And hi there, Cold Man. Ice Wall is an ice wall that you can use as a platform to reach higher places and push by walking into it. Ice Wall will deal damage to any enemies it touches, but will be destroyed after a set period of time. It uses 3 units of energy. You can ride Ice Wall after pushing it to cross spike pits like this one. Make sure you don't stay on it too long, though. You should know this already, but ice floats. So, yeah, the idea is use Ice Wall and it will bring you upwards. But remember that its longevity is limited, so you still might have to jump. Because Ice Wall can bounce off walls when pushed, you can use it to reach enemies in situations like this. Ice Wall also does minor extra damage to aquatic and nature enemies, a little extra damage to flying enemies, and significantly more damage to fire enemies. So we have some type advantage stuff going on here, huh? Yeah, I need to be hitting at the exact right, speed there. You can slide on Ice Wall while it's moving. I can also make the mistake of not putting it in a place where I can move it. Cold Man is showing up a lot. You can tell that this is the weapon that needs the most tutorializing. Ice Wall can be used to freeze magma beam sensors into solid platforms. You can then destroy that platform using some other less cool weapon called Laser Trident. Which I'm not going to be allowed to demonstrate, right? Of course not. Ice Wall is one of those weapons that feels like it's kind of awkward to use. I'm not sure I'll be using it that much for enemy destroying purposes, but I have a feeling that there are some stages that are built around this. Can Opener, a tutorial on Break Dash by CWU01P. That's right, we have 2 Mega Man 5 GB weapons. Hey, right button this time. Meow! The Break Dash lets you tear your foes to shreds with one quick dash. Try it on that block to my right. Just remember you have to charge up to use it, and it won't work in the air. So it, too, takes 3 units of energy. But you can fire regularly when you have it equipped, so you do actually have another offensive option. Did you know you're invincible for a while once you break dash? You can rush through things that would normally hurt or kill you, and be totally fine. Which makes it slightly better than Tengu Blade. Sometimes fighting enemies just isn't worth it, especially when they're invincible. You can use the break dash to perfectly dash through to skip them. This won't work for every enemy, though. You can cancel a break dash by jumping mid-dash, but you'll keep the invincibility you already had. Try it out so you can use these spikes as a platform. Yep, that was, that's tricky and, scary. Wow! That thing just went flying! Enemies that stay close to the ground often take more damage from the break dash than others. Some enemies can also be pushed back, like that curlinger. By the way, you may want to charge up before entering the next room. Now. Ha! I didn't have to charge up before. I just had really good timing. You can even crush Beeries and Gearies. Be careful though, it won't work on Smaplars, the jerks in the upper left here. Okay, so the Mega Man 9 dudes are not vulnerable. Spines in their kin making life hard for you? Tear them to ribbons with the break dash. It's the only weapon that'll destroy them outright. Nyahaha! Okay, so the only weapon that works against these particular enemies is break dash. That is good to know, and I am sure I won't remember. Yeah, that one had quite a bit of tutorializing too. Again, you can tell which weapons they felt the most need to provide information about. You are a strange person. Dr. Lalinde. You're early, and there's one more training simulation behind this door, but we're still getting set up. I can't say for sure when we'll be ready. I might suggest stockpiling trickster tokens to pass the time. Okay, token gate. Fine. Let's tutorialize the utilities. Spring for a Flight, a tutorial on Rush Coil and Jet at Flashman 85. Anti-Eddy. Gee, it sure would be faster to get out of here if you had Magnet Beam. I guess you'll just have to use Rush, you poor thing. Rude. Then again, is that surprising? Well, huh? Sorry, I fell asleep waiting for you. Magnet Beam would be ideal here, but I guess you can call Rush from the ladder. Okay, now you're just being a jerk. Is this payback for Eddie's World? Okay, someone must be testing my faith in Magnet Beam, because this puzzle looks like it'd be easier with Rush Coil. I'd say you're probably right. Sorry, having a little bit of a cough. Who would design a room like this? You can't use Magnet Beam. You go clear a path while I sulk. See, you can fire while Rush is active. That's why it's better than Magnet Beam. Also, there's a doggo. That automatically makes it better. What? This room blatantly wants you to hug the... This room blatantly wants you hug the top of the screen with Rush Jet. That's unnatural. I'll stick with Magnet Beam. I'm flying over everything! Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go through this legitimately. I also think you can go through most of this legitimately. Anti-Eddie asked me to take over this tutorial. At least I assume that's what his scream meant when he fell into the abyss. Alright. Yeah, he must have run out of magnet beam. So I'll coach you on Rush Jet. 1. Jump to summon Rush further off the ground. 2. If Rush lands in the wrong place or is being unhelpful, perform a weapon quick switch to banish him. Press up and down to steer, hold backward to go slower. Don't be afraid to descend on floor spikes. Rush is immune to them. 5. Shoot stuff. If you're about to crash, jump off. There, now you're an expert. Die at your own risk. It's unnecessarily hostile, I think, but... Take it nice and slow until I did not quite, slow down enough there. I'm holding back. Jump. There we go. Much better. Now I'll teach you about Magnet Beam. Wait, you didn't bring Magnet Beam? Oh, good luck with Rush. Rush is just fine. What? No, I'm not trying to kill you. Now climb into this death trap. I think maybe Anti-Eddie is disguising himself as Eddie. How dare you proceed without me? A guy falls down one bottomless pit and everyone thinks he's dead. Look, I grudgingly admit that Rush is fine. Magnet Beam is way better, but you'll live longer using both strategically. And yes, I know I am wearing my counterpart for a hat. Good day! I wonder if Eddie has anything to say. Well, that was kind of dangerous. A Vicious Cycle, tutorial on Rush Bike. By Phase on Motherbane, Random, and Snowrun Pyro. Rush Bike. Why did this... Why was this one of the ones that was voted on? Yeah, these weapons were voted on. Urun. Ah, hello there. You have the Rush Bike, don't you? It's quite the useful tool. Summon your canine companion and hop on to blaze off into the sunset. You can drive around by holding left or right and shoot buster shots as well. But your jump height is quite limited while you are riding the bike. The speed you gain should more than make up for it, however. Alright. So you definitely need to be... Woo! This is definitely more of a lateral boost than a vertical one. And you want to jump at the very end of your platform there. The Rush Bike has another ability. Hold down to enter its boost mode, greatly increasing your speed. However, your traction will also be much worse, so use it intelligently. So you need to be holding down and to the side at the same time. Holding down it alone doesn't do it. While on the Rush Bike, you are protected from almost all damage. More specifically, any damage you take will be subtracted from your weapon ammo instead. You can even drive over spikes and will only drain your ammo. However, you are not protected from anything with a drain effect, like lasers or poison. However, should you find yourself with infinite rush spike ammo, draining your ammo will not work, so your health will drain instead. That is all I have to say about rush spike. Please, ride your dog into the sunset for me. Rush spike! That's going to be weird to use. Okay, this video is getting a bit long, but I'm not splitting this up. Platform hijinks, the tutorial on Magnet Beam, my spin attacks. And yes, we have Magnet Beam as well. What? The Yellow Devil's our tutorial guy? Really? Okay. The Magnet Beam is no weapon, but it is a powerful tool indeed. It creates temporary platforms you can use to scale heights even the Rush Coil can't reach. You're the tutorial guide? Yes, I am. Truthfully, Doc Light was supposed to run this, but he was too busy. Furthermore, Elecman already has his own area, and he wasn't fond of the suggestion that he disguise himself as a wrestler for this one. But I'm sure you remember learning you needed the Magnet Beam to even reach me, so I volunteered. Okay, ooh, it's got a nifty look to it. It also only uses 1 unit of energy per attack rather than 2. By holding the fire button, you create longer beams at the cost of more energy. Also, the beam is attached to your buster until you stop firing, and keep in mind when to let go when climbing upwards. Okay, so... So it's not just one... It's not just it uses 1 unit of energy, it's based on how long you hold it. Got it! You see a small gap in walls, and there's no ground for you to slide on. The Magnet Beam can create ground for you to use. It won't help you if there's an overhang on one end, though. I'll have to see what they mean by overhang on one end, but I think that means you can't just slide into wherever you want to. Mega Man. Enemies cannot stand on the Magnet Beam as you can, so use it to evade them if need be. I'd recommend getting some height for their legions of dangerous enemies straight ahead. This is an unnecessary amount of big eyes. Yeah, Magnet Beam good for avoiding that. I'm sure you have the hang of the Magnet Beam by now, but if you want to drop down quickly, switching weapons will cause all beams to disappear. Naturally, be careful of where you choose to do this. I tend just not to do it very often. There really are not a lot of cases where it benefits me to quick drop from Magnet Beam. There's gotta be something in here. Yeah? What are you doing here? The exit was right there. Just curious. I'll try not to make a mess. I like the feng shui of this room. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I see now. You don't believe I can speak normally. You presume based on solely how I used to be, that am my kind of your muffunes. Mindless monsters who can only ever mumble nonsensical boomo-boomos and aren't real robots like yourself. I'm beyond evolved that you would think I am a brainless brute after my services here. We devils are capable beings, and I shall not let this slide. You're on the wrong side of history, Mega Man. Goodbye. Well, that made me history. I had to see what would happen. And besides, it is tradition to have at least one character kill you for your transgressions against the weapon tutorial. I say that as if it's happened more than one time previously. Alright, well, that takes care of the weapon tutorial. And since we've done that, let's also take a look at the pause screen. So, you can actually rearrange the order of your weapons in the menu. So I can move this up and down by holding the button. So I think I'll be putting weapons I expect to be using more frequently, more towards the top. But I'll be leaving the utilities at the bottom, just because that's how I normally like them. And since we're here, we also have items and equipment. That's a lot of stuff! But how much of it is actually going to be, you know, equipment? So we have the energy balance to start out with. That, of course, is very nice and pretty standard these days. We have our plushie collection, which we can also access from here. Don't need to go to the hotel. We have the tournament pass and the phased key. And 32 more slots to fill. That's a lot. Some of them are going to be battle benefit, some of them aren't going to be. I don't know what to expect when to get them. But I do think that takes care of the entire hotel. And, ooh! There was something different here before, but I don't know now what else to expect. But I think it's time we head off somewhere. I think the first place I want to go... Oh, we have some more people to talk to. Power Muscler! Hrr! It takes so long to respawn in the simulations. I've lost 10 whole seconds of my life from dying. Have you tried holding slide while you're waiting to respawn? Slide? Look, bub, maybe you can slide, but I'm a Power Muscler. My only options are jump and thump. Useful information. So hold slide to respawn faster. This tournament has me pumped. We haven't had this active of a news cycle in a long time. I'm the edge of my seat. I asked you for an interview, but I'm choosing to be polite here and assume that you're probably busy. This is my single olive branch that I'm giving to you. Thanks. Do you know anything about function keys, like pressing F2 to reset or holding escape to quit? Or like F3 and F4 for messing around with screen size and for full screen? Maybe F9, F12 or print screen for a screenshot? Because I've got to write a term paper and the only things I know anything about are zapping people and being annoying. Too bad for you. Who are you? Lichman. What's this? No, this won't do. I only detect one soul here. Useless for my arcane scientific research. Why wouldn't I only have one soul? Then even that's debatable. Of course you have a soul. All mechanical life does. And what about the poor calculator's souls? Why would you deny the calculators? No! Anyway, If you ever find yourself with more than one soul, well, for your sake, let's call it more than one player, if you will. Talk to me again, and the research can begin. So that's a multiplayer thing. Ah, another tournament! Another chance to test my mettle again. Oh, excuse me. You're fighting what? A rock? Did it provoke you? Hold on, I'm getting another call. An old man? What kind of deranged... I'll call you back. Hello? Whoa, stop screaming. Get a hold of yourself. What are you, a bottle of ketchup? How do people keep getting my number? I never should have installed the phone in my spear. Yep, that seems like a bad idea. You there! Yes, you! Wah! It is a truck! Salutations, a pleasure to meet you. You may not know me yet, but I am a humble servant to the common good. For this I wield the power most sacred, the power of public transportation! Whoa! Bravo! As my true name is arduous to pronounce, you may simply call me Michael. As I cannot remain idly here any longer, I implore you to take this. Got a travel brochure, a pamphlet depicting the various tournament locations. It can be used to summon Michael and shows your progress in each area somehow. How handy. Should you be in the need of my services, do not hesitate to summon me. Alright, and then there's this guy. The Wheel! I'm going to explore the world. There's so many wondrous places to see. Come back later and I'll tell you all about my travels. Got it. Well, this one has run kind of over budget, but you know what? Sometimes that's gonna happen. Ordinarily, I would be cutting these in pieces, but I'm just gonna leave this one as is, because there's not really any cut point anyway. Anyway, that's all for me for now. Until next time, this is Doc. I'll see you later.